On the outside, the Swift sports a sleek and modern design. Suzuki have introduced a new Horizon design line that wraps around the vehicle, creating a sense of motion. Rounded shoulder lines give it a sporty edge, while the iconic Suzuki badge proudly sits at the front of the bonnet. Lower headlight positions and L-shaped daytime running lights not only enhance visibility, but also add a touch of sophistication. And check out those clear rear tailgate lights.
A LISTNR production.
Afternoon, it's Andrew Shaw with you. Labor might have had a pretty easy path to victory in Saturday's federal election, but for Gippsland and the Goulburn Valley, not too much will be changing politically, although one Gippsland seat's still up in the air this afternoon. The Electoral Commission will continue counting, but it appears Nationals MP Sam Birrell's pretty resoundingly picked up the Goulburn Valley seat of Nichols once again. Labor's Kim Travers still secured plenty of votes, but not enough to take the seat, securing around 34% of the vote. As for Gippsland, well, unsurprisingly, Nationals MP Darren Chester has also won that seat once again, while Monash is expected to come down to preferences and is currently too close to call. Liberal candidate Mary Aldred is leading the way currently, around 8,500 votes ahead of Labor's Tully Fletcher, while independent Deb Leonard's not far behind either. Good news for Tachira sports fans. The lighting project's now complete at the Tachira Park Western Oval. There's now 4 30-metre poles installed along the oval, which are equipped with LED sports floodlighting. Shepparton Mayor Shane Sarley says it'll improve training conditions for local teams and helps the venue to attract major events.
I'm really pumped. I'm a huge fan of sport, and I love the fact that now Tachira Football Netball Club are now being able to offer all possibilities when it comes to hosting events here. It aligns them with other sporting clubs across the region, and it continues to prosper the community here above and beyond.
And a vending machine offering free pads and tampons has been set up at TAFE Gippsland's Warrigal campus. It's the start of a statewide rollout with 1,500 machines to be available at 700 public locations around the state. Farmers across our regions are pleading with the state government for more drought relief. It's after the South Australian government announced a $73 million support package, and the Victorian Farmers Federation wants the same help here as producers face worsening conditions and the growing threat of business failure. The VFF's Brett Hoskins says there's no sign of any decent rain on the way.
And there's nothing on the forecast, and I think that's almost the cruelest part as well, is that, if we saw a glimmer of hope, a little bit of a coloured map, a week or so out, then it gives you something to work towards and plan towards. We're not seeing that at the moment.
A rally is set to be held in Yarrawonga on Saturday afternoon following the death of Kylie Sanders in the town on April 25. Police say she was trying to intervene in an argument when she was struck by a car and killed that evening. This weekend's rally has been organised by community group Fiery Lou, which focuses on education around gender-based and family violence. A smaller tribute was held last Friday evening, while the rally will get underway 4 p.m. Saturday at Yarrawonga Foreshore. And with measles cases spreading across regional Victoria, Gippsland health experts want to make sure we're up to date with vaccinations. Parents being urged to get their kids immunised with the MMR vaccine, while adults born after 1965 are also eligible for a free top-up dose. Dr Alex Ty from the Gippsland Region Public Health Unit says measles can be deadly.
We know that of the 20-odd cases that we've had in Victoria so far, more than half of them have been hospitalised. So that's pretty significant. And we know that in America, for example, when they have hundreds of cases, that they've had 2 deaths so far related to measles.
The federal election result spells good news for renewables. That's according to the RE Alliance, who believes they can now get on with the job of properly building the Central North Renewable Energy Zone, which Shepparton's a part of, as well as the Gippsland Renewable Energy Zone. National Director Andrew Bray says despite the opposition's calls that communities were opposed to these projects, the data doesn't lie.
Polling consistently shows that people in those regions generally support the shift to renewable energy, so long as it's done in a way that benefits the communities and also minimises impacts on nature. So this election result really gives us a chance to reset. We can come together in renewable energy regions and cut the politicking.
Meantime, counting for the Gippsland seat of Monash continues today. Liberal candidate Mary Aldred still has a decent lead over Labor's Tully Fletcher. Bega says it's aware of the impact closing its Strathmerton operations will have on the Victorian town. The cheesemaker has announced its processing and packaging centre will close by mid-2026, with 200 jobs to be lost, another 100 moved to New South Wales. Shepparton Nationals MP Kim O'Keefe says there's a lot of questions to be answered still.
People often, they can't move away a lot of the times, so how do we support these people? It's really tough times. So at the moment, it's early days, but there'll be the questions, how can we support, these workers and really make sure that they're well supported during this awful time for them.
And Erin Patterson's trial continues in Gippsland today, following testimony from lunch survivor Ian Wilkinson yesterday. She's pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of murder and 1 of attempted murder. Well, one election's done and dusted, but Victorians have another one coming next year. The state election's due in November 2026, and the Victorian Electoral Commission is recruiting over 1,000 people who want to work as senior election officials. The Commission's Marie Guerin says it's really interesting and rewarding work.
Really gives you an insight into what happens behind the scenes at an election. And we find that people who do this work as senior election officials will come back for more. So we have senior election officials who work 4 or 5 elections in a row.
Head to careers.vic.gov.au to apply. Another emotional day at the Erin Patterson trial in Morwell yesterday. Heather Wilkinson's daughter telling the court her mum was surprised to even get the invite to lunch at Erin's home in Leongatha in 2023. The meal ended in tragedy with 3 dead, and Erin now accused of murder. She's pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of murder and 1 of attempted murder. The trial gets back underway shortly. And shockwaves across the Goulburn Valley after Bega Cheese announced it's closing its manufacturing site in Strathmerton. Hundreds of workers are losing their jobs, and Neil Smith from the United Workers Union says it'll have a devastating impact on the entire region.
There's well over 300 families that are impacted from Yarrawonga to Shepparton and all the little towns in between. But Strathmerton, there's 1,070 people that live here. It's going to really impact the bakery and the pub and the sporting club, which is a real concern.
Bega still has other sites in regional Victoria, including Tatura and Morwell. Paramedics across Victoria are responding to critical Code 1 emergencies on average around 17 seconds faster than 3 months ago. Ambulance Victoria's released the latest data, showing crews managed to get to 65.6% of those urgent cases within the statewide target of 15 minutes, slightly up on the previous quarter. An unexpected twist in the mushroom triple murder trial in Gippsland. It could wrap up earlier than expected. Meantime, the nurse who treated Erin Patterson told the court in Morwell yesterday she didn't look unwell, and Erin discharged herself from hospital after the lethal lunch she's accused of serving in Leongatha in 2023. Erin maintains her innocence and has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of murder and 1 of attempted murder, with the trial continuing this morning. The next stage of the Thompsons Beach upgrade at Cobram is underway. The works at Kennedy Park include accessible footpaths and car parking, new shade structures, extra seating and new artwork and signage. A new playground and artworks were installed last year in the first stage of the project. Briefly, the number of Year 10 students finishing Year 12 across the state rose last year, and we're being urged to buy local flowers for Mum on Sunday. Victorian growers across our regions have been preparing for months ahead of the big day. VFF President Brett Hosking says buying Victorian flowers has an upside.
And that's the beauty of Australian local product is it just has that longevity because it's fresh, it's straight off the plant and straight into your home.
In the Goulburn Valley League, Shepparton have finally copped their first loss of the year after losing out to Echuca by 33 points on Saturday. Kyabra, meantime, sits second after toppling Mansfield by 20 points, and Benalla made short work of Tatura. As for the Gippsland League, Moe pulled off a stunning win over the Parrots on Saturday, while Wonthaggi toppled Morwell, and Sale managed to topple the winless Druin. Checking the latest in sport now, and another huge weekend of Big V basketball action across the regions. The Shepparton Gators well and truly made the most of their doubleheader with wins across Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. It was a narrow win over Bellarine, 96-90, while on Sunday they toppled Melbourne Uni by 14 points. As for the Gippsland United squad in the Division 1 men's comp, the winning streak continues, 6 from 6 after taking down Bulleen by 28 points. Melbourne's president has come out swinging, labelling the media's coverage of troubled star Clayton Oliver a disgrace. Brad Green says the Goulburn Valley product's privacy needs to be respected as the midfielder targets a return from mental health leave this weekend against Hawthorn. And the Gippsland Stars are out on court tonight at the State Netball Centre, taking on the Bendigo Strikers. It was a tough time out last week for the Stars, who narrowly lost out to the Southern Saints. All the action underway tonight from 8:40 p.m. Simon Goodwin has told Fox Footy it was wrongly reported why Goulburn Valley product Clayton Oliver sat out Melbourne's last start.
He hasn't got resentment towards the footy club. He's not upset with game time. He needed time away on medical advice. That's where the frustration sits.
The Demons coach adding Oliver will make his return against the Hawks this weekend. Meantime, switching to the netball now and looking to last night's action where the Gippsland Stars have gone down to Bendigo. Looking at what's happening in sport now, and another big weekend of football and netball to get out and see tomorrow afternoon across our regions. To the Gippsland League firstly, where Druin could have a tough time of it when they clash with Moe, while it's 3rd v 4th with Leongatha travelling to take on Morwell, and Warragul play Traralgon on their home deck. And in the Goulburn Valley action for round 6, there could be fireworks with a huge 1st v 2nd clash with Echuca taking on Kyabram, while Shepparton United and Mooroopna could nab their first win of the year when they face off.
Unleash your vehicle's power beyond limits. Discover our exclusive range of Yuasa automotive batteries, engineered for unparalleled reliability and performance to power your journey like never before. Battery World. Power your passion.